Okay, first question. When you were a kid, what stressed you about schoolwork?
Um, I didn't stress too much about it, but like when you have big assignments, it was maybe a little bit stressful the closer it got to the day it was due. Um, yeah, stuff like that.
How'd you manage it?
Um, well, for me, a good way was I was always involved in stuff, whether that was sports or different school activities going on, so it kind of gave me an outlet to kind of get some excess energy out so I didn't get in trouble.
Okay. Second question. When you were a kid, did you have any social pressures?
I think every generation has social pressures. It's just a matter of how you deal with it, and probably depends on. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably depends a little bit on how your parents teach you to deal with stress, and some parents teach good ways. Some parents don't teach it quite as well, maybe. So, I think every parent or kid is going to deal with it differently. So everybody deals with it quite a bit differently.
Okay.
You got
How do you?
just my head, barely. You're not even got me there.
So how do you deal with it?
Um, well, stress is an interesting thing because I think it all comes from pressure we put on ourselves. And one way to deal with stress is to just start a project. You know, if you got a project or an assignment or my daily work, you just keep doing the little things and then eventually you put together a bunch of pieces and you're done.
Okay. When you were a kid, how did you find the right support and balance? Example, if you're relying on somebody, or finding the time for everything, even though if it's a challenge.
Well, the right support, you know, I think a lot of it is a parent issue, and I think parents have a role to kind of support their kids. I realize that there's different circumstances where sometimes there's not two parents in a home, different complications at home, work schedules and things. I think it should be primarily a parent job, but I also realize that sometimes teachers or administrators or youth workers or whatever also can play a role and help with that situation as well. So just finding the right people and connecting to them, and they're going to speak positive stuff to you, and that kind of helps quite a bit.
Okay. And how do you manage to find the time with right time for everything? Like, do you work first, or do other things first, or?
Well, you have to do what you'd call prioritize. So if you have something due tomorrow that has to be done first thing in the morning, you're going to work on that before you do something that's due in 2 weeks. So if
Okay.
like same for my job here, if I know that I have pressing needs that need to be done Friday morning by 9 o'clock, then those are going to be some things that I would work on for probably the rest of my day here. Whether it's a small thing or a big thing. And I do put some things off and procrastinate just like everybody, but I also try and figure out how long something's going to take me, so I don't procrastinate too long, because I don't really like to stay up all night and work. That's no fun.
Huh. Yeah. Let's see. When you were a kid, not to be personal about anything or something like that, just did you ever worry about the way you look or how other people look at you from your years in your past? Like, example, like if someone was, let's example me, really, really, really annoying, and then you gotten better about it, but people look at you just differently as
Um,
annoying.
I think that's normal. Um, that people worry about what other people are thinking of them.
Yeah.
But I think that's partly, I think parents can go a long way to kind of giving kids confidence. And I think as you're growing up, you need to realize that doesn't always matter what people think. I mean, of course I had, every kid has issues, whether you got the wrong hair color, or you have freckles or acne, or you're short or you're tall or you're heavy or you're skinny. Everybody probably thinks that or worries about what other people think of them, but probably what people need to remember is what really matters is what the key people think of you, and if you develop good relationship with your close friends, with your parents and other relatives and teachers, coaches, youth people, whatever it may be, you develop good relationships with them, and they will kind of help give you positive ways to think about yourself that hopefully outweighs some of the negative. Because really you need to be focused on the positive instead of the negative, otherwise you're just going to be depressed all the time.
Okay, when you mean by key people, you mean like people who look into you and not out of you?
Well, people
Like-
that matter.
Yeah.
Like if you know a person in the grade you're in, say you're in 7th grade, and you've said hi to them one time, and then you have friends that you've known since you were first started school, which opinions matter? Probably the ones that you hang out with, that you have relationship
Yeah.
with. And that's probably where I say parents, family members, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. Sometimes people go to youth groups, sometimes people have, just neighbors or friends that impact them. So those kind of people are the ones that matter, not the person that you don't have a relationship with.
So, okay. So, okay, I think that's it.
Okay?
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.